More action from the Property Investor Show here at Excel in London, and I'm delighted to be joined by Steve Bolton, the founder of Platinum Property Partners. Welcome, Steve, and you're making a return to the show this year.
Yep.
What's your kind of feeling so far? How's it going down?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been some interesting people, some great questions on panel debates and some of the talks we've been doing. It's quite busy, much busier than it has been in previous years, which I think is partly due to people's confidence in the property market. Once again has certainly returned. So it's been there for quite a while in London and the South East. But it's been interesting to see people coming from all over the country, Scotland, the North, the Midlands, real appetite back for property.
Very good. Now, you mentioned the panel, and you had over 100 people in your room, and it was hosted or chaired by Ash Suberi of the HMO group on Facebook.
Correct.
And he's got a really good community of people together. What were the kind of comments that came up? Because there's, HMOs seem to be flavour of the month at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know about flavour of the month, but we've been doing it for 12 years now in the marketplace. But yeah, I think the focus on yield and income, and also the fact that shrinking returns in terms of buy-to-let, single occupancy, where capital values have increased and rents haven't kept pace, there's more of a margin squeeze on people just buying flats and family homes to rent out to individuals. So a real appetite for the income and the yield in HMOs. We talked about the ethics of it, so rogue landlords that are out there flying under the radar, what can be done about those, about how it really does pay to do it profitably and ethically and give your tenants, your customers what they want. And I think the most interesting statistic that came out of it was from the guys at Spare Room. Matt was basically saying over the last 2 years there's been a 33% growth in the number of people looking for rooms in shared houses.
Wow.
And only a 0.3% growth in the number of people providing those rooms.
Wow.
Huge growing demand for high quality, reasonably priced, affordable shared accommodation.
And with the PPP model, it's very much based upon systems and professional management and having a very robust business model, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an end-to-end sort of solution. Where to buy property, what to buy, how to refurb, how do you fund it, how do you get planning, and then how do you market, advertise to the tenants, how do you maybe acquire more capital to keep your portfolio growing, how do you structure it in a tax efficient manner. So it's everything you can essentially think of to help people maximise the returns, minimise the risks. And I think the beauty these days is for PPP type HMOs will deliver a net income of about £50,000 a year after all costs. So 50 grand a year equivalent PAYE salary is about £80,000 a year. So 4 buy-to-let properties giving you a gross salary equivalent of £80,000. It's a really nice position to be in. But at the same time, we're providing affordable accommodation for tenants. We're taking rundown properties and doing them up and bringing them back into service. We're paying tax, as all landlords do. We're helping employers by making it affordable for employees to live close to where they actually work. So it ticks a number of stakeholder needs, but from a landlord perspective it works very well also.
Indeed, and I think from the tenant's point of view it can be part of your kind of growing up cycle to actually be in a house share and to have that social environment and where you're getting your own little network together. So from a tenant's point of view it's a great solution as well.
Yeah, it's affordable. They meet people. So we've just carried out some fairly extensive tenant research, and they're sort of saying there's this perception, I think, and you see it a lot in the media, that people can't get on the property ladder anymore. And actually, yes, it is more difficult and more challenging, but a lot of people in their mid-20s, early 30s, actually don't want to be tied down to a house, a mortgage, a location. They want flexibility. They want to, travel. They want to work in different places. They want to decide where they're going to settle down. So I think from that point of view, it provides that flexibility. It also saves them money. So if they want to put some of that saving aside and build up a deposit, we've got a number of tenants. One of the panelists was talking about 6 of his past tenants. He's helped them get on the property ladder by saving money, but also giving them coaching and advice about what to buy and where to buy. So it's, I think landlords sometimes are quite polarised in the media, and the good ones providing a great service to all the various stakeholders.
Indeed. And just to finish, Steve, we're coming up to the general election, obviously, and there is a lot of uncertainty. And we know very clearly from Property Tribes that landlords are favouring the Conservative policies. What's your view on what's going to go down?
I mean, I'm not necessarily going to call the election. I don't know. It will be what it will be. I think it's interesting. I was talking to some other developers, and they're praying for the Conservatives to get in because some of the investments that they've made and how it might affect their strategy, permitted development, conversion, offices to residential, for example, could well change depending on which government gets in. So I think some people are putting things on hold to say, actually, we're not going to buy anything else or agree plots of land. Other people, some developers are putting option agreements that actually come into force after the election. So they're kind of hedging their bets to wait and see. But I think we have a preference, but whatever way it goes, is that going to change? Is any party going to change the social need for young working professional people to live affordably with like-minded people and a lower cost of living? That's not going to change. That's going to be a constant. Companies are going to need employees that don't earn £50,000-100,000 a year. So I think in the space we're in, we're sort of fairly comfortable. It'll be what it will be. You ride with the ups and downs. Planning's change, government's change, taxes change. You've just got to predict as best you can and prepare yourself for whatever way it goes.
Indeed, I totally agree. Well, it's great that there's been this open debate about HMOs, and there's a really good bunch of people on the panel, and good to have this debate about what is an ethical HMO as well. So I think that's very healthy all round, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Really.
All right, well, thanks very much for joining us, Steve. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Okay, thank you.